20 days of football, boys.
Starting to.
That's less than 3 weeks. We're less than 3 weeks away from actual college football.
Don't tease me.
It's getting exciting. It's getting real. It's a big month. It's a big birthday month. Big business, big busyness.
45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. He's gonna go. Holy cow.
Big Red Junkies.
Day by day, he gets better and better. He gets better and better. He gets Oh, man, woman, and child, he just turned this stadium inside out.
I don't know. I'm excited. But jumping in. Number 20.
Big birthday month.
Yeah, lots of birthdays this month.
Who?
Mine.
That's
This
one.
is a shameless plug for his own birthday.
I knew yours, but
Mine, my wife's, my brother's.
well, my sisters. I
Your
guess.
sisters?
Yeah.
This is a football show. Get back to it.
Yeah.
So since my nephew is watching, Drew, your mom's birthday is this month.
Your mom's birthday is this month. So a little preview for what might be coming up in this episode. Coming in at number 20, we've got
Keep going.
Micah Mazuka. Some people might say Mazkua. It's Mazuka.
I just pronounce it how it's spelled.
Yeah.
I do a bad job of that.
6'5", 325, senior offensive line.
Fucking huge.
Guard coming out of Philadelphia, PA. He is by way of Florida. He's been with the Florida Gators for the last 4 seasons, I believe.
No, he was with them last year. He was with Baylor previous to that.
Ooh, shit. My bad.
That's right.
So, Baylor, Florida, Nebraska.
He
Let's go.
almost came to Nebraska after leaving Baylor, but then he went to Florida instead.
Got it. I'm excited about him. He had a rocky start coming in, but I think he's going to be a guy that we absolutely need down the stretch.
Mhm.
We're going to see more rotation on that offensive line. If he's not starting, he's going to be the first man in. It's going to be big.
For me, you watch highlights of Micah Mazuka both at Baylor and at Florida. He's kind of one of those old school Nebraska offensive linemen that is just, I'm going to run you over and then run you over and then run you over again, and you're not going to do a damn thing about it. The Florida strength and conditioning coach called Micah Mazuka a bare-knuckle brawler, and he was rated by Pro Football Focus as the 4th best returning interior offensive lineman in the Big Ten this upcoming season. He played almost 1,500 snaps in the last 2 years and has only allowed 4 sacks, 2 hits on the quarterback, and called for 6 penalties.
Jesus.
I like him a lot.
I like that 6 penalties thing.
Yes.
That's
in the
big.
last 2 years in 1,500
for
snaps.
a bare knuckle brawler to be that
Yes.
disciplined, that's big.
Yes.
That's big. That's a stat I am just learning right now, and it gets me very excited. Matt?
Tons of experience. He better be a brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
Brick shithouse.
I love him next to the ever-improving Bryce Benhart. That
Yes.
side is, I like it a lot.
We need it for our freshman quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, Hunter Carberg.
Yeah, sure.
Right. Coming in at number 19, we've got Mr. Tony White, a guy who we were not exactly sure was going to be here this year, but he is the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator.
We paid him. It's fine.
Hey, we did pay
It's
him.
fine.
We did pay him.
Gave him what he deserves.
Assistant head coach and defensive coordinator. He spent his prior time at Syracuse, and he was a Broyles Award nominee in 22 at Syracuse and last year at Nebraska. Guy's a stud. I mean, everybody knows about Tony White. We don't really have to talk about him that much. Took Nebraska from a bottom 15 defense to a top 15 defense in 1 season, and that was with the change, a complete schematic overhaul.
Everybody lost their shit when they heard 3-3-5 defense,
Oh,
and
God.
everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's not going to work in the Big Ten." Everybody just lost their freaking mind. He came in, he had the fewest rushing yards allowed per game since 1999 for Nebraska, fewest yards allowed per game since 2009, fewest points allowed per game since 2010, most sacks since 2014, and most tackles for loss since 2016. Like,
What else needs to be said? What else needs to be said other than
yeah.
Matt?
Fuck yeah. Phenomenal coach.
Yeah.
I'm going to be sad when he leaves, but he's going to leave because he's that good.
Yep.
If we were sitting here exactly 365 days ago and saying any of this stuff, we'd all be laughing at each other.
Absolutely.
We all thought, I don't really know what to think about this. We weren't excited or disappointed by the hire, but we weren't definitely not floored and definitely didn't expect what we got.
Yeah.
If he reproduces exactly what he did last year, we'll be happy. But I assume based on the coach that he is, they're going to get even better.
We thought maybe what we saw last year would be a year 2 type defense, where you're gradually
Or year
progressing.
4.
Well, no, but I mean, just gradually progressing into something that we can, really sink our teeth into.
Yeah.
He jumped right in and said, nah.
Yeah. He bursted through like the Kool-Aid man. He's like, nope, our defense is here to fuck shit up.
Oh, just in case you were running low, let me refill your glass.
Yes.
Coming in at number 18, a guy who used to be on my big-time shit list. I made fun of this guy nonstop.
You talk about much maligned.
Yes. But I fell in love with him last year.
Mm-hmm.
And Bryce Benhart at number 19 is one of my favorite dudes coming back in 2024. He's an offensive lineman out of Lakeville, Minnesota. 6'9", towering 315-pound senior. This dude probably would be playing on Sundays this year if he didn't decide that, well, if him and Isaac Gifford weren't stretching one day and just decided they should come back.
Yeah. he again, much maligned, everything. Everybody, he was kind of the punching bag for years
Especially
here at Nebraska.
on this show.
Yes, ball focus last year. His development makes me smile. It's great. And again, to be able to have him next to an absolute mauler like Mazuka, I think is only going to help him even that much more.
Absolutely. The dude is going to be a rock on that offensive line this year.
It's really shown, specifically with him, it's really shown that having that stability of Rhule now being here for his 3rd year was big. And doing it the way that he wants it to be done is only going to produce some of these guys going to the NFL.
Yep.
It's exciting. Coming in at number 17, Prince Will Umanmielen, or
Your mama yelling.
another one of our favorite guys. You're going to hear that a lot as this list comes down. But this guy, another, just like Cam Lenhart, an undeniable, can't keep me off the field sort of a player as a true freshman last year. He was an absolute shock, surprise, awesome surprise for us last year. And the dude produces. I think the most impressive thing that I saw him do last year was read quarterbacks on the short outs.
Yeah.
And drop off in coverage when a lot of guys, especially at the college level, but even in the NFL level, you see those guys get trapped in no man's land and a quarterback can throw them off. He seems to have this sixth sense about what exactly is going to happen, and it showed out so hard last year. I'm just so excited about seeing him grow into 2nd year.
And to do all that as a true freshman player
Yes.
coming in there.
Yes.
He was a second-team freshman All-American. He only had 250 snaps, and he was 4th in most pressures, 3rd in most quarterback hurries for Nebraska last year. He was rated as the 2nd best pass rusher on the entire team behind Luke Reimer.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That
Matt?
young man is a beast, and I expect him to haunt the quarterbacks that he lines up against.
Yep.
Absolutely. Coming in at number 16, Mr. Javin Wright, another linebacker on this list. Senior out of Chandler, Arizona, 6'5", 215. The dude is an absolute beast. He's a guy that kind of flew under the radar last year, I think. But he's going to get, with some of those departures, he's going to get some time to shine, and we're going to need him to step up and be that dude.
He's a legacy kid with his dad playing here in the early 90s, Toby Wright. He had a little bit of a scare when he first came to Nebraska with some heart issue. But for a guy that only started 1 game last year and he tied for 2nd with the most tackles on the team. Yeah,
It's crazy.
I love, we've talked about a couple of times the high ceiling for some of these guys. Javin Wright's right there.
Yeah, I'm with you.
He was kind of a sneaky high performer last year.
If you would have asked me who was tied for 2nd on the team in tackles, there's no chance that I would have got there.
No. Well, and again, this is another guy. This is another reason why I love Rob Dvorak so much, because he has guys like this that don't play a whole lot or haven't played a whole lot coming into last season that are just flourishing.
Instead of being sneaky, I want him to get loud.
Yep.
Get loud. Get loud, Javin. Coming in at number 15, we've got Mr. Tristan Alvano.
Maybe one of the most important guys.
Yes. We have him at 15 on this list, probably just because of how poorly he kicked the ball last year.
And how important it is to kick the ball good.
And yes.
A little bit of both.
He is a sophomore out of Omaha, Nebraska, West Side kid. 6'1", 200 pounds, place kicker. He's a dude that everybody wanted. Everybody wanted. Alabama was fighting hard for him coming out, and he just got a case of the yips early on. Might have happened even in spring ball last year. I'm not really sure when it happened, but he never seemed right from the get. And that's a dude who was kicking, high school state champion 55-yarders in that stadium.
Yep.
He's not unfamiliar with the pressure. We just got to see him put it together this year.
Yeah, the series of the Nebraska program this year is called Chasing 3, and it's about getting 3 points better. Well, you can't get 3 points better with an inconsistent kicker. And when you're 3 of 8 of 40-plus yards, you got to be more consistent than that with exactly what you just talked about, how well he kicked in high school at that exact stadium from a distance 40-plus yards. You just got to get better.
I expect he will.
Yeah, kids just got to breathe.
Yep.
Shoot one kick at a time. That's all it is. I'm sure Jed could go into a 7-part series kicker mentality, but
Of course, can't bring up a kicker without me watching one 5-minute video of kickers.
Dude, it was a 3-day documentary series. I heard
you texted us about it for 18 hours on end.
Yeah,
I had to buy extra storage on my phone for
Sure
all the
you did.
kicker stuff you were sending us. You're never going to live that down.
I don't care.
Coming in at number 14, a dude who's another favorite of ours, Gabe Irvin Jr. A junior out of Buford, Georgia, 6 foot tall, 220. I think he might be more like 245 based on some of the stuff that I'm seeing
Yeah,
come
like
out of
boy.
the weight room. He looked huge last offseason, and
Yeah.
he looks even bigger this
His
offseason.
arms are the size of the football.
If there wasn't such injury concern, I would be excited to have him probably as a top 10 dude in this because of how important the running game is going to lean on the running back room this year. But if he can stay healthy, I think he's the most talented guy in that room, and I would be looking forward to seeing him touch the ball at least twice a possession.
Having him not only stay healthy, but being able to run behind such an experienced offensive line for the first time.
That too.
He played basically 2.5 games last year, and he finished 4th in rushing. Love the potential there.
Stay healthy, run heavy.
Stay healthy, run heavy. He ain't going to run light, that's for sure. Not with those arms. Coming in at number 13, Mr. Ben Scott, a guy we saw at Big Ten Media Days. He's an exciting character, man. Offensive lineman, senior out of Honolulu, Hawaii. He is definitely a Raiola get, that Polynesian tie. 6'5", 305. A center that should wind up playing on Sundays. This guy is everything that it is to be a Nebraska Husker, I think. And like he just screams beast to me.
Yeah, he's one of the top 2 returning centers in the Big Ten. He only allowed 1 sack last year. Everybody always says the center is the anchor of the offensive line. He absolutely is.
And he looks fucking terrifying. That's great.
Mr. No Neck. Coming in at number 12, another guy on the offensive line, Mr. Teddy Prohaska, another local kid, junior out of Elkhorn, Nebraska, stands at 6'10", 325. This is actually not accurate though, because we saw him on the podium. We saw him, he's trimmed way down. They said they're actually going to play him somewhere around 295 this year.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Be more mobile.
Far more mobile, and you look at him, he looks trimmer, but they say that he's moving better, he's getting better leverage, which at 6'10", you got to be able to get down.
Mm-hmm.
And if it takes some of that pressure off the knees, that's what he needs, man. They're doing everything they can with all the science and all the nutrition that they have in that building to try and find these guys the optimal, not optimal weight range, the optimal pound to be at.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what he's got going on. Yet another guy on this list that is not on an injury regimen this offseason
For the first
time in a long time.
Yep.
Took him a long time to get right last year, but the dude is an absolute animal. He showed that as a true freshman. We should be able to see him absolutely destroy people on that left side this year, and Raiola is going to need it.
I'm gonna put him on the same blast as we did with Hutmaker and Robinson last year. He was recruited to be the anchor of our offensive line. Injuries are what stopped all of that. I'm not trying to criticize him by any means for how he's played or whatever else, but let's finally be healthy. Let's finally be what you were recruited to do, and let's do this.
I mean, you said it. He's a physical specimen.
Yeah.
Be something special.
Mm-hmm.
Animal. Absolute animal. Coming in at number 11, the last one before we get to our top 10 countdown, Mr. Marquise Buford Jr. out of Chicago, Illinois. He's a junior this year. and every other year. But he's a junior in school this year. 5'11", 190.
He's a dad,
DB.
folks.
This guy is somebody that a lot of people aren't really counting on and aren't really talking a lot about or thinking a lot about going into this year because of his injury stuff last year. We're hearing nothing but good things about him in the offseason. He seems like he's going to be 100% go and 100% back to fully being himself for
And a
the
leader.
beginning of the season. And a leader, yes. He's the guy we need in that back end with so many young guys in the DB room.
Yeah, after starting 11 games his sophomore year in 2020, ass off to get back last year, just couldn't. He ended up playing the last 4 games of the season. But, man, to be able to have a full offseason with this defense, I can't fucking wait.
Yeah.
Got to be a leader.
Yeah.
Got to be a leader.
Going to be a ball hawk. And we are down to our last 10, guys. 10 days until football is coming back. We are so excited. We'll see you next time.
And this may be the most unbelievable night in Cornhusker football history.